Hey guys, hey everybody. Um, this your boy Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. Um, I hope everybody's doing well, or as well as you can be doing. I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna play some music while people kind of come into the chat, so I can kind of get with it, get jiggy with it. My spine hurts right now. My spine feels really burnt out. My head feels burnt out. But I'm gonna go through some questions tonight. Yeah, let me play some music to kind of get in the mood. I got this. I found this shirt that I bought like 2 years ago. It's a Darth Vader shirt. Uh, he's more machine now than man because I got all this crap on. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? I'm gonna play some music while people kind of come in the chat. I just wanted to do a short live stream tonight, and go over some questions that I was thinking of for Dr. Hoffer, and then I was going to get some help from you guys. Yeah, good morning, Moonrose. Moonrose says good morning. You're on so late or early, LOL. Yeah, my schedule is completely messed up. I woke up at like 11 o'clock my time, and then I went and got some Taco Bell. Tried to you try and move around when you wake up. And when I wake up, my spine hurts and my head hurts, and I'm kind of like walking like a zombie, So I try to wake up and kind of get moving around. And I thought, well, since I have some energy right now, I have some energy right now. Uh, I'm just trying to survive, really, but I have a little bit of energy. I was thinking I could go through some of the questions that I was thinking of for Dr. Hoffer, but I'm having trouble thinking of everything. So I'll go through what I have, and then you guys can maybe give me suggestions. I'll put on this music really low, and we'll just go through it. I guess I'm into Star Wars right now, so I'm going to play this Star Wars song to get me in to kind of calm me down. I guess I'm not doing too bad. I really am. It's like without the defenses, I'd be doing worse. But just my spine and my lungs. I feel really worn out. I just feel like I have no energy. Hey, Future Knowledge. Hey, you know what? Future Knowledge. I wanted to tell you. Future Knowledge says, "Hey, Kyle and everyone," and hello, Future Knowledge. I wanted to tell you, with your channel, I am subscribed to it, and I hit the notification bell, and I am never like your videos never come up in my YouTube. When you pull up YouTube and it shows all the videos, your videos never come up. So I had to go to your channel, and you've made all these new videos, but I'm subscribed and I hit the notification bell for your video. So I wanted to let you know that people may not be getting your new videos because I wasn't, but I did. I went and I watched all your new videos. I thought it was really interesting, like your new video about the box. You're talking about like the box and the lines going out of it. And at first I was kind of like, oh man, Future Knowledge has been being targeted really hard. He's not making much sense. But I started thinking about it, and I've been really looking into like a lot of Mandela effect stuff and a lot of weird stuff that's just going on in our reality. And I think the person who told you that, like the person who told you that, and you thinking about that, there's a lot of validity to that. I'm gonna pull that video up so people can go and watch it, because when I first heard you say it, you really gotta hear because I'm not saying it right. You're talking about a box, and then the lines that go to infinity can be seen now. And then you were talking about time travel. And I've been watching a lot of this stuff on the Mandela effect, where it's like now if you break a rib, your rib can actually grow back. The Lindbergh baby was found after like 2 months of looking for it. The Lindbergh baby was always missing forever, right? 60 something people actually survived in the crash of the Hindenburg, and I had always learned that all of them had died. Donner and Blitzen are not the names of the reindeer. The reindeer for Christmas, it's 2 other names. There was an attack on American soil before World War I in New Jersey, which nobody knows about. Like the Mandela effect is super weird, and it kind of like made me think of what you were saying. So Future Knowledge says Charles Hall made that statement. It's amazing. Yeah, and like at first I was like, you know, Future, I don't think you're crazy. I mean, you're targeted and you're a very wise man. But I was like, I was like, Future Knowledge, are you just being targeted really hard? Because it's not making any sense. But then as I thought about it more, I was like, you know, that's really true. Things in our society are kind of going wonky. Like I swear, like if y'all check out this channel called All Time. It's called All Time. And he talks about the Mandela effect. And there are some Mandela effects that are just like, what? Like the Statue of Liberty is not on Ellis Island, it's on Liberty Island and always has been. At the Salem witch trials, none of the witches were ever burned or drowned. They were all hung. Like there's stuff that's like it's not just the Jiffy, it's not just the Berenstain Bears, which is a big one. Berenstain Bears, I had those books, and it was Berenstain Bears. It was not Berenstain Bears, but there's some huge one. There's some events in history, like in World War II, Japan sent over these balloons, like these balloons that would go on the wind currents, and they would blow up in America. And I had never heard of that. There's all these events that never occurred, but now they're just common knowledge. The Olympic torch was started in Nazi Germany in like 1936. That what's it called? That tradition of doing the torch relay race was started in Nazi Germany in 1936. It wasn't back in like Greece or anything like that. Like what? Like it seems like our reality is changing. I don't know what the Mandela effect is, but it seems like some kind of reality altering time thing. So that video that you did, I'm going to go to it. I'm going to pull it up so people can kind of go watch it just real quick. And then I'll get to the questions because I want to go through some questions that I'm going to ask Dr. Hoffer, and then maybe you guys can help me. And then people can maybe leave some suggestions in the comments too. But I want to go because that was a very interesting video, Future Knowledge. And at first I was just like, I have no idea what he's talking about, but we're targeted, so we always, you know, kind of get off on weird subjects. But then I really started thinking about it, and I was like, you know, that's very, very true. It's very, very true that like the lines outside of the box, how I think about it is like the lines outside of the box of reality that everybody just sees on the surface are now being seen, and things are getting crisscrossed. So I'm just going to show people. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Oh, I feel really my like spine and my chest hurt so bad, but these really help. You know, I think my hypothesis was wrong about the transcranial stimulation device putting interference into the vestibular system. I think it's the conductivity of the skin. I think our attackers are using these electromagnetic fields that conduct along the skin and affect the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, can make us more depressed. And this is just one angle, right? Because they hit us in the head to create electromagnetic fields around the head in a bidirectional stream of photons. But I think what this is doing is it's creating this small electrical current on the skin, and it's interfering with the conductivity of the electromagnetic fields that our attackers are using on our skin. So I was looking at TENS units, and I might do that on another video. You know, I might go through, I think you could get a cheap TENS unit and probably get the same kind of effect, the same kind of a positive effect as this transcranial stimulation device, you know, is giving. Because the other day I didn't use it, like I didn't use the transcranial stimulation device all day long. And so here it is. So guys, go check out Future Knowledge's channel anyway. He always thinks, you know, he always kind of thinks about this program and what's going on in a very wise way, and he thinks about it outside of the box. This video, wow, targeted individuals. I was watching this tonight when I was going to Taco Bell, and at first I was just like, oh, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. But then I really started thinking about it, and I started thinking about the Mandela effect and all these weird things that are happening in our society. And I almost think that it's not just CERN. It's not just CERN, and I kind of think that all these different directed energy, like this infrastructure of directed energy, using these electromagnetic fields and stuff all over the globe, it's causing problems. Like it's causing shifts in reality somewhat. And it's just a hypothesis. It's a very left field hypothesis that I can't prove, and it's not concrete. But, you know, go watch this video, guys. It's something to think about. We're starting to see those lines to infinity outside of this concrete box of reality that we've always lived in. And, you know, Future Knowledge talks about like time travel and things like that. That's also like a left field hypothesis that I couldn't prove or anything like that. But maybe these, you know, maybe these programs, DARPA and things like that, maybe they are time traveling and they're creating rifts in our timeline, and they're creating other timelines, kind of like in that movie. And not, I mean, it wouldn't probably be exactly like this, but in that movie, you know, Avengers Endgame, where they're creating like different multiverses, mucking with actual time and messing with the fabric of reality, frequency and energy, how everything's put together. And you know, these programs and the military industrial complex of the world are messing with this stuff so much that it's causing things like the Mandela effect. I saw another Mandela effect. So guys, go check out Future Knowledge's channel. You see how I was subscribed. Look, Future Knowledge, I'm subscribed and I hit the notification bell. But I wasn't, your videos weren't popping up in my feed. Like when I go on YouTube, none of you, and you've made a lot of videos, but they're not popping up. So I don't know if your attackers like have connections at YouTube or whatever, but I was not getting your new videos. So that was very upsetting. So I had to go watch them last night. I watched most of your new ones, and then I watched that one tonight. What else did I want to say? I can't remember. Let me read some of y'all's chats. I hope all you guys are doing well. I think my attackers are kind of worried about me going to see Dr. Hoffer, so they're making me pretty sick. So Cheryl Lewis says, Kyle, I saw a documentary on Santa Claus, and every year he shows up in different parts of the world. They show him in a bunch of pictures for years. True story. I'll try to find it. Yeah, and they were saying like the North Pole is water. Like it's not a place where you go and there's like snow. The North Pole on the globe today is just a big body of water. Go to this channel called All Time. It's ALL and then space time, like just a space, like All Time. And he has a lot of really, really funky Mandela effects, like the Lindenberg baby. Throughout my whole life, the Lindenberg baby was always missing. They never found the Lindenberg baby, but now history shows that the Lindenberg baby was found like 2 months, or 2 months after it went missing. There's all these history things that everybody had learned a certain way. Salem witch trials, we learned that the witches were either burned at the stake or drowned, but now only there was none that were burned at the stake. There were none that were drowned. They were all hung. Like, have you guys ever? I mean, it's like history changes. The one about the ribs, you break a rib, like in today's reality, in the reality we live in, you can break a rib, and that rib can regenerate. Like I'd never heard of that. Like so, there's all this weird stuff going on, and it's like being targeted. Like you know, at the end of the night, like you know, my head's hurting, you know, because my attackers are giving me a migraine, and I'm watching these Mandela effect videos, and I'm just like, what is going on in our reality? What is happening? You know, I think all these, you know, the military industrial complexes, DARPA, and you know, other agencies like that in other countries, they're playing around with reality so much that, you know, I just think that it's really causing some, you know, some really weird stuff. some really weird stuff. Lost Year says, I've been using the earthing .com grounding stuff for 4 days now. I like it, but it's very strong, so I only do about 2 hours at a time with one cuff. You know, Lost Years, I would just use it all the time. I would just use it whenever you can. It's not going to give you, it's not like a charge or anything like that. It's actually draining a charge. So it's not putting anything on you. It's just grounding out any kind of positive ions, any kind of extra conductivity. So it's not dangerous to use it a lot. So I use mine like all the time, even when I'm sitting here. But mine are, I'm gonna have to try and get some new ones or something, because they keep popping off. It gets really annoying. Hey Native, and hey Autumn. Hey Drunken Ninja. Drunken Ninja says, sup Wolverines. Darth Vader Wolverines. This shirt is cool. Like, I found it I bought it like 2 years ago, and I have all these Q-Wave Defenders, and got Q-Wave Defender boobies, and then all this electronic stuff, and I thought it'd be funny. He's more machine now than man. Hey Mariko. So Native said, Future Knowledge says, Charles Hall was talking about the electron in a rigid box problem and probability waves. And you know what? When you were making that video, I'll tell you what, I said, I bet you Charles told him that. Because Charles comes up with some really, I mean, he goes way past anything that I'm working on, because it gets really confused. It's like, this stuff is already confusing. And if you go past a certain point, I'm just like, nobody's gonna really understand that, But it's an interesting thought, and it really, there's a lot of stuff in society that goes along with that. I mean, the Mandela effect freaks me out. Like, have y'all ever seen that movie, Scary Movie 1, right? Scary Movie 1, the Wayans brother, he's like, they're smoking weed, and he's around all these white people, right? And he says, and I remember seeing the movie. I saw the movie in the theater, and then I rented the movie. I didn't buy it. But I remember him, and he's sitting there, and he says, I see white people, right? Because it's a play on the Sixth Sense, where the little boy goes, I see dead people, right? But now, and it was never I see white people, it was always I see dead people. So it's like this Mandela effect where it switched. Why did it switch? Did they just change it? Did they just go back and change all the old copies that people had? I mean, what is the Mandela effect? Like, I'm trying to figure out. It's definitely real, but I just don't know what it is. I might do some videos on that. Some fun things where we can just go through, the Mandela effect. It's kind of, actually, it's not really fun. It's kind of scary a little bit. Cheryl Lou says, I'm in the chat listening to you with your guest downstairs on the TV while my phone is upstairs. I go upstairs and I'm seeing the same thing I already watched like 15 minutes prior to going to get my something. Yeah, sometimes your chat, like if you push pause on a live stream and then you go do something and then you come back and you push play, you're going to be a couple of minutes behind where the chat is, So it's probably just something like that. Mariko says, hi everyone, I love the grounding that Kyle introduced to me last year. I'm starting to use my microcurrent. Okay, cool. What's the microcurrent, Mariko? Moonrose says, can I have permission to work on you energetically? I can help you as much as I can. Yeah, Moonrose, I need all the help I can get. And I do believe in that. I do believe that, we help each other with our energy. We give each other positive energy. And you can see it with these programs, how people are so, like our attackers are so negative, gang stalkers are so negative, and it introduces this negativity into society where even people who don't know exactly what's going on, like they feel it deep inside. But yeah, sure, definitely. And I mean, I try and do that too. I don't know energy work, but I try and send out prayers and just good thoughts, and just like from my center, the best positive vibes that I can send out, especially, to my close loved ones. but all you guys too. You know, I try and get, that's why I really like when I'm feeling bad, I don't like making videos. I know that a lot of targeted, we're supposed to document that, and I've been documenting it for a long time, but when I feel really bad, I feel like if I come on here and I'm just like, oh, and I'm just like, oh, I feel bad, it's going to affect you guys. If we can stay positive and raise our vibrations, we can feel better. And I know that a lot of very practical TIs are kind of like, positive vibrations, love, faith. Those things are very practical. They're very practical. Our attackers get us in a cycle of negative energy. And then we have more doubts and fears and negative emotions. And then the pain is more. So if we can get to a positive cycle, then we have less stress, we have less cortisol in our system. Raising your vibrations is very scientific, because if you can reduce stress, you reduce all these different chemical reactions in the body that make you feel healthier. And so then when your attackers are hitting you with directed energy weapons or the neuro weapons, it's going to be way less intense. Your body's going to be able to guard against it, not only on an external level, but on an interior level. You're going to be stronger. Your muscles are going to be stronger and everything. Yours truly, Melancholy, Sincerely, Mr. Happy. I love your name. It's very long though. How much does Dave Case's CD cost, and where do I get it from? So just go to antitonitusv2k.com. It was on SoundCloud, and there was a place where you could download it, but those are gone now. Somebody erased those when I guess targeted individuals started getting them from there. But you just go to antitonitusv2k.com. Just pay for shipping. You just pay for shipping, and he'll send it to you. But you do have to buy KOSS headphones. You have to buy the KOSS KOSS KTX1 Pro headphones. And I really recommend Dave Case's CD to all targeted individuals. I do experience pain still. They do get through with some stuff, and I use a bunch of different defenses. But without Dave Case's CD, things would be very, very different. So I really recommend it. Really, more than recommend it. It would be the priority that I'd say everybody gets. But you got to use it a lot. Like, you got to use it a lot. You got to, just when you get it, just use it as much as you can continuously for like 2 months, and then try and use it. Okay, Future Knowledge says Autumn's latest video is awesome. Watch it. Okay, so everybody subscribe to Autumn's channel if you're not already, and then I've got to check it out. Because I haven't seen it yet. Cheryl says I've been getting really bad headaches lately. Yeah, me too, Cheryl. This can really cause a lot of really bad headaches, backaches. My spine feels like tingling pain all the time, and it feels like it's out of whack, because I'm using the noise canceling hearing aids, and it stopped the pain on my left side going down through this leg and up my jaw. And I don't know why. Maybe I might have an implant on my tympanic membrane. Me and a friend were looking through things, and they put non-consensual implants on the tympanic membrane, and then maybe that was what's doing the vagus nerve stimulation to me. But my attacker switched over after I stopped some of the pain on my left side. They switched over to somehow stimulating my spinal cord, and I don't know if they're doing it through remote neural manipulation, or if they're creating an electromagnetic field on my back, and it's conducting along the skin, like using the skin as a conductor. Then it affects the nervous system, and it can like actually send signals up to the brain through the skin at a point like on the spine. Their bag of tricks and stuff like that is so frustrating, because it's not just one thing that they're doing. They use a lot of electromagnetic fields and things like that. Skin conductivity. So the grounding is going to be important. And then vibrations. If you can cause vibrations on your skin, like with a massager or a transcranial stimulation device or a TENS unit, you're going to be able to stop a lot of artificial depression. You're going to be able to stop a lot of nerve pain. You're going to be able to stop a lot of autonomic nervous system manipulation to make you real anxious and shaky. So if you just get a massager and you put it on the back of your head or something, you're going to be causing this vibration. So when they're using an electromagnetic field to conduct along the skin and affect the autonomic nervous system, it's going to interfere with that. So we got to use all these little tricks, right? And we got to try them, and then let other targeted individuals know about them, so we can all feel better. We can pass around best practices sharing. Is that the way you say it? Best practice sharing. So okay, so Autumn put a link in the chat. Yours truly, Melancholy, sincerely, Mr. Happy. Another link with Dave K. Oh, okay, great, Autumn. Thank you, Autumn. Okay, so let me just go. I'll just go to this link. I might have to come back into the chat. Okay, it's on YouTube.
But some things occurred.
Okay, cool. Autumn, I think that they took that down. Like that tinnitus. Did they take that down? Yeah, let me show y'all. Yeah, they took that one down, Autumn. That's what I was talking about. So you got to go to antitinnitusv2k.com. I was really excited about that tinnitus forum thing, but let me show you. Let me show you. See, this is what it shows now. Like you go to that link that you have on your video and somebody messed with it. Like somebody took it down. I think that when people started going to SoundCloud to get Dave Case's CD, somebody took that down. And then when people started to go to this tinnitus support forum, somebody took it down from there too. So I think you got to go to antitinnitusv2k.com. I don't know, can you still get it on here? Let me see, maybe. No, you still can't go to it. Maybe it's still there. Maybe it's still there. Let's see. Oh, it goes to other ones. Oh, and they're talking about transcranial stimulation treatment. Well, I guess check that one out. Maybe it's not working for me, guys. Maybe it's just not working for me. So check that link out that Autumn sent out, and maybe it'll work for you. But I think tinnitusv2k.com. I'm trying to get back to my live stream. Okay. Hey, Zap World, man, how you doing? Hey, Tanya. I wanted to read that other comment up there. Okay, Mariko says the microcurrent works in ways that you just described via skin and nerve system, yet it does the opposite to heal rather than to hurt us. Is it a device, Mariko, or is it kind of something with grounding? I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna look up microcurrent, Mariko. Okay, so Native says, I'm glad we're all up at the same time. LOL, helps with not feeling so isolated. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, and this is when I've been up lately. I've just been up all night. So I was like, I just need to go ahead and do this. And then people can comment in the comment section. So let's start on that, guys. I always sit here and I could just read y'all's chats all night. Yours truly, Melancholy, sincerely, Mr. Happy says, so I need certain headphones. I seen the titanium ones you recommended. Look, I'll go to them real quick. Okay, I'll go to them real quick, guys. But then I need to go through the questions. So let me pull that up. Let's see, I'm gonna pull up a new. Oh, am I sharing my screen still? I'm sharing my live stream. Can y'all see me? Do y'all just see this? Was I sharing my screen? Because I was like on my live stream. Okay, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, we'll go to the cost headphones. So, and everybody check out microcurrent. That sounds, Mariko knows a lot about this, but it really does. I think I was thinking that the transcranial stimulation unit was like putting a current into my vestibular system, so it was interfering with the remote neural manipulation. But I really think that it's just the vibration, it's the current on my skin, and then I'll take it off. Like I had it off for a whole day, And my attackers, like I was pacing around and I was anxious and I was like really depressed. And I put it back on that night and my mood immediately lifted. And I was like, oh, okay, I felt a lot calmer. So it makes a huge difference. So wait, what was I looking up? I forgot what I was looking up. Oh yeah, the Koss headphones. Okay, Amazon Koss headphones. There. And well, let's look at this first, and then I'll talk about that. Okay, so now I need to share my screen. And it's these right here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, guys, and show you all the exact ones you need to get. But please get Dave Case's CD and try it, you know, because it's, you know, they're doing this bi-relevant feedback loop to do a lot of remote neural manipulation of our nervous system. Also, the vibrations in Dave Case's CD are stopping a lot of the skin conductivity of this stuff and the way that it affects our autonomic nervous system. For me, it got rid of everything except the V2K for like the first year. But then my attackers kind of started adapting somehow using other things. So it could give you a lot of time. It just depends on how your attacks are. It could give you, I mean, it could give you a lot of time of complete relief. And if you don't have V2K, it might make it go away. You know, a lot of people have said Dave Case's CD has stopped their targeting. I don't know, because mine never quite stops. Like I can affect it, I can change it up. So you see here, Koss KTX 1 Pro 1 titanium portable headphones with volume control. And so they're $18.63. They used to be like 12 bucks. But yeah, these are the kind you need. You need it to go up to at least 24,000 hertz. At least 24,000 hertz, because the frequencies that he made go up to 24,000 hertz. So here it is right here, the Koss KTX Pro 1. So guys, let me open the chat up again, and then I'm going to go through all the questions that I have so far, because October 9th, oh, my chat's not moving, my chat's not going down. Okay, so Mariko says, it feels like the grounding vibrations, the portable machine is expensive. I bought it 3 years ago for all my future health concerns. However, I didn't know I'd be needing it for what I'm needing. Okay, so it's a microcurrent, it's a type of machine. Yours truly, Melancholy, sincerely, Mr. Happy says, okay, fam, I'm hanging in there, fighting these, and I quote Wolverine because I can't find anything better in the English lexicon. Out of control, sadist, Satanist. Yes. Yeah, this is out of control stuff. This is out of control stuff, terrorism. I don't have words anymore, guys. I just want to fight it. I mean, I used to like get on videos and just, you know, oh, these Masons are pieces of, and I'll say the English cuss words, bollocks, and, you know, shite, you know, but it's after a while, after so many years, I just want to fight this. I just want to get good people on our side. I just want to get good information out. It's so crazy that when you're in pain and you think about how evil these people are, it can put you in a cycle of just not fear, but like kind of a hopelessness that things have gotten this evil. And so when I can, I just try and be like, what this, that, like, okay, I said it the other night, when you have something good in your life, this is how I do. When I have something good in my life, I let the feelings in, right? So I have a new girlfriend. Well, we've been dating for a month. I let those feelings about her, I let them into my heart. I let the good stuff in, right? But when she's like hurting from the targeting, or like I'm really hurting from the targeting, or my parents are hurting, or you guys are hurting, or something's really bad, what I do is I click into logic mode. How do I fix that? What can I do to make it better? Try and separate your emotions from the really evil things in life. Don't be overwhelmed with emotion. It may be a little bit harder for women. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just saying you're more connected emotionally, and that's like a strength in a lot of ways. It may be a little bit harder to compartmentalize, and I think that's why you women are targeted more. because you're so emotionally connected to your surroundings. You're so emotionally connected to things in your life. And that's one of the things this program, uses against us. But if you can, for those really evil things and those really painful times, if you can just say, okay, let me stop, and I'm just going to go through solutions on those things. What can I do to make it better right now? What can I do to make it 2% better? What can I do? And disconnect yourself emotionally. But the really good, beautiful things in life, your faith, your faith in Jesus Christ, your faith in God, your faith that you see beauty out in the world, or just kids playing, your nieces and nephews or something. Connect emotionally to those things. Severely connect to those things, like, oh, those are great, and really feel them. But the evil stuff, try not to connect emotionally to them. Try and just be like, and kind of my name, my YouTube name kind of says it, Vulcan Wolverine. I'm a very passionate, emotional person, but I found that with the bad things in my life, I've had to kind of be like Spock a little bit. I've had to kind of not suppress or repress emotions. We do want to go through, we need to go through those emotions, but when you're in the moment and you need to make things better, kind of say, well, I'm not going to feel all this right now. And I guess that's a problem. You don't want to repress too much. You do want to go through your negative emotions, but maybe pick a time for it. Pick a time that's convenient to go through your negative emotions and ways to do that. We need to talk about that on another video though. Native says, stay strong, Kyle, and you have a lot of friends here and you have our support. And I really appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm there for y'all too. If you need me, I haven't if I haven't answered your email, I'm really trying to, but I'm just drowning. I'm drowning and dealing with some new things in my life. But I really try and stay connected, with you guys. I really try and get out some good information. Let's go over these questions. Okay, so I'm going to see Dr. Hoffer on the 9th, and I'm trying to get ready for it. I'm trying to clean up my place and get myself in order. I was like actually speaking out loud to my attackers the other night, and I said, "Oh, it's going to be great," And I don't know if this is true, but I'm kind of like hoping that Dr. Hoffer has gotten the Department of Justice's blessing to find out what's going on with targeted individuals, to get documentation on it. Because I think the Department of Justice they know full well that people are being experimented on and tortured. But I'm just hoping that he is getting documentation and he knows what's going on. So I think if he can spread it around the medical community, that could give us a lot of help. I was talking to them and I was like, oh, so y'all are attacking me and trying to stop me from going to this doctor for national security reasons, right? An innocent American trying to go to the doctor. Y'all are trying to torture me to try and keep that from happening. Then this doctor, for national security concerns, is trying to figure out what's going on with the innocent people tortured. This should be fun, right? This should be fun. It's just so ridiculous. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and our society is a complete mess. Yeah, yours truly, melancholy, sincerely, Mr. Happy says, effing thank you alls. All they want is to elicit an emotional response. Hashtag Star Trek. Sometimes we got to be a little bit like Spock, guys, because this is too much it's too much negative emotion. There's so much evil, and it's all the time, and it's gang stalking, and then it's the directed energy weapons, and it's pumping up your emotions in your brain. So you're going to have to unentrain too, because sometimes if you're entrained really bad, you're getting the remote neural manipulation, you're not going to be able to decide, hey, I want to calm down. This remote neural manipulation is going to be driving your emotions. So that's why, like, some of these defenses, like Dave Case's CD, transcranial stimulation device, the microcurrent thing, I need to look into that. The TINS units. I'm going to I'll do a short video on TINS units. Okay, so questions for Dr. Hoffer. And I'm going on October 9th. I'm trying to get some stuff, and I want to, I'll talk about that later. Okay, so I'm going to ask him, and these aren't in order of importance, but you guys let me know. So I want to ask him, can you do imaging for non-consensual implants? I want to ask him if he can do imaging for non-consensual implants. I think that's a really important one. I'm going to be doing an interview with my friend Ken from Canada, my TI friend Ken from Canada, and they still are putting non-consensual implants in people, even though they don't even need those anymore. if we can get somebody to image those, I think it's a very obvious one, right? It's a very obvious one that we need to get any kind of implants that we have out, because then we can de-intensify what they're doing to us. We can then, what's it called? Chelate heavy metals. We chelate the heavy metals, and we start feeling better, right? I hope we're getting close to that, like being able to get imaging for the implants and get them taken out. Some people have already. I think Richard Kane got his taken out. I know there are some other people, they said they went to Spain. They went to Spain and got them taken out, but they didn't get to keep them. Like the doctors in Spain, and I think it was, what's his name? I can't remember. Dwight Mangum. Dwight Mangum said that he went to Spain and he got non-consensual implants taken out, but the doctors in Spain said, no, we can't give them to you. We've taken them out. So I don't really know what happened there. So the next question is going to be, can you take non-consensual implants out? So I'm going to ask him that. I hope I get more than 15 minutes with him, but I'm just going to try and, like, you know. So do any of you guys have any suggestions so far? And I'm going to pull, let me read the questions I have, and then I'm going to pull up his information. So if you are a targeted individual, especially in Florida, you can call his office and say, I'm a targeted individual. I want an appointment with you, and go see him. So I think maybe some of you guys might want to wait till I see him, and let's see what he does for me. Let's see what happens. And then you can decide if you want to, like, if you're not in Florida, you can see, and maybe this is going to be another question. I don't know if it's the other one. No, it is. It's the next question. Can you point TIs towards doctors who could, oh, no, that's not the question I meant, but this is one of the questions. The question I was thinking of is, are there any more doctors like you who understand that there are targeted individuals out there, and that you could, that are in other states, so we can get a list, and then targeted individuals can go to them. Now, the problem with this whole thing, the problem with me reading these questions and talking about going to Dr. Hoffer, I'm kind of like, I kind of feel like I'm being a knucklehead and just putting all this information out, when I should just go and I should just not talk about it, because I may get him in trouble. He could be targeted or something like that. But man, we've got to find things that we can spread out amongst targeted individuals, and that they're still going to work. We've just got to do it. We've got to do it. So anybody who's like, man, you're dumb, you shouldn't even talk about that, you should just go see them. I've thought about that, but we've got to talk about this stuff. We've got to get doctors knowing about this stuff. We've got to get it to where every targeted individual could go, not where it's just like, oh, maybe you can just help me and I'll keep it secret, because there's no way you can get help for yourself. And we've got to stop the whole entire we've got to stop all this stuff and get all TIs help, so that we individually can get help, right? It's a cart before the horse thing. I've thought about this a whole lot. Okay, so that question, this question, can you point TIs towards doctors who could image for non-consensual implants or take them out? So this is going to be, those three questions are probably going to just be one. Do you know any other doctors who can do imaging? Can you do imaging? Can you get these implants out? I'll probably just squeeze that all into one. Okay, Tanya says, ask him, can we email him for help? Let me write that down. I should have had a pen ready. Can other TIs email him for help? Okay, so these question, can other TIs email him for help? Okay, that's a good question, Tanya. We'll see. I don't have his email, but that's a really good question. Yeah, new type says, and welcome to the chat, new type. New type says, what's happening to us is unbelievable, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Definitely. Somebody was saying this. Mark Twain had a quote that said, it said, reality is definitely more unbelievable than fantasy, because you have to be able to understand fantasy. So reality is actually way more weird than stuff in sci-fi or fantasy books, because you have to be able to put fantasy into context. So it's a very ironic, like human life is very weird. And it's like, I find that sometimes human beings think backwards. We think invertedly. Like people say, oh, we exist, so aliens can't exist. But I think because we exist, there's obviously life out there in the universe. That's just because we exist on an Earth, right? We think very weird. So obviously, oh, I hate these things. That's going to be one thing I ask him. I'm going to ask him if he can give me a hearing aid that like fits me, that is like made for me, because these things, like one of them came off my ear the other night and I had my hands full and it broke open and I lost the battery and everything like that. Like found, couldn't find the battery and I lost it. These things really work. When I put them in both ears, I don't have any of the left side of my body pain, which has been great. And then a lot of the pain in my back I haven't had. Yours truly, Melancholy, sincerely, Mr. Happy says, new type, that's half the battle, fam. It seems so absurd that nobody listens, but we're on our way. Yeah, we're on our way. Like things are changing. I was telling somebody today, and I kind of like, at this point, I just want to do stuff to make it better. I don't want to say, hey, this is going to end soon. So I've been saying that for 6 years or whatever, 5 or 6 years. But I was telling them, like, I think we're at a critical mass, right? The problem is that even if the public knows about it, it's the military industrial complex. They have all the money, they own the mainstream media, they own corporations. So it's all the money. So people are gonna pick money over truth in this tyrannical, corrupt society. So even people like the public who know about DHS fusion centers are kind of putting together that targeted individuals are being microwaved. They're making money by working for DHS fusion centers. So they're going to kind of just go and make their money and say, oh, well, this is just, they're going to have another justification, right? So we've got to just break through those walls. We're getting there. We're getting there where people they won't be able to deny it. It's sad that that has to happen. It's sad that it has to come to a point where it's like, oh, you can't deny it anymore. But I think that's the point we're going to have to bring society to, where it's like, okay, you cornered us. We can't deny it anymore. You cornered us, targeted individuals. We actually have to tell the truth about it. It's very sad that people don't really want to do what's right. They don't want to just want to do what's right. They're like, oh, well, can we get away with doing what's wrong? That's what's wrong with our society. Yeah, Tanya Bauer says, how many people are being targeted? Cut their dirty money off. Yeah, we need to cut their dirty. Yeah, Mariko says, we are getting there. We are getting there. I'll tell you what, man, it's completely different than 5 years ago. Like with social media, like people, like nobody's in this chat saying we're crazy. People have stopped doing that because they look like they're liars. People know that they're liars now. So it's completely changed. A new type says, I honestly don't know if I could have been convinced had I not been targeted. I think I wonder that too about myself, new type. I think that I would be convinced that it was happening, but I wouldn't know the intensity of it. I wouldn't know how bad it was. And that's kind of where my mom is. She knows that it's happening, but she doesn't know that it's like torture 24 hours a day. It's the worst. And it's like mind control. I think I would think they were maybe experimenting on people or whatever, but I just wouldn't know, how intense it is. Autumn says, new type, it's true. And there are patents of the technology too. Yeah, there's so many patents, so many little different apparatuses that are manufactured that then they put into these integrated weapon systems. And they have different integrated weapon systems for different contractors, different apparatuses put in to do different protocols. The Drunken Ninja says, I need to find an antenna specialist, a physicist to ask questions. Let me think if I know somebody, Drunken Ninja. I can't think of anybody who's like an antenna expert. Like an antenna, maybe we need to get a what's those what are those things, the radios, the shortwave radios and stuff like that. We need to find somebody who knows those really well. Tanya says, we are not crazy, Kyle. They are crazy, mother. Yeah, I totally agree, Tanya. It's just, it gets to a point where it's so evil. It's just so evil that it's like, yeah, they're terrorists, they're Satanists, and it's automated weapons. I just want to do as much as I can to reduce the suffering, to stop it as much. I think that's what we have to get. We have to get past the shock and awe, right? Because if we're always in shock and awe, and I'm not saying you are, Tanya, you're just saying, you're just making a factual statement. This is the most evil thing that's ever existed in humanity, hands down. Me and a friend, or no, actually me and my girlfriend, we were talking about like the most evil thing. She sent me this article about organ harvesting in China. Organ harvesting in China, and we were saying like, okay, that's like one of the top 5 most evil things. Then you got like child sacrifice. I'd say child sacrifice is number 1. Then you got this targeting, but they also target kids. So you got like 3 of the most evil things in humanity, like right there. I'm sure we could think of other ones, which is sad, which is so sad for the human race. I'm just going to say yours truly now, Melancholy. No, there's 600,000 in the States alone, as far as my research has led me to believe. TIs, that is. That's kind of what I'm thinking. TIs like us, TIs that are being hit with directed energy, like electronic warfare. But I think that there's way more people who are maybe being remote neural monitored and they don't even know it and stuff like that. So it's probably 600,000 very hard targeted, target individuals. Hey, Richard, man, how you doing? Richard says fascia contraction, force suppression, dopamine modulation, forced thought, neural signal rewiring. All this will be in our control when this technology hits civilian use. We need BCI tech, brain computer interface tech. Yeah, I think that we're going to have that. That's a good point. I think this is what you were saying, Richard, is like when the consumer products and the medical advancements come out, we're going to have some things that our attackers are doing that we can use against this. Like that we'll be able to, even with the transcranial stimulation, Dave Casey, it's kind of these frequency technologies and electrical stimulation technologies. We're going to have some more things in our hands to push back, to do to our bodies, right? So this program's not going to be, it's going to be less and less effective as the technology comes out in the consumer market, the technology comes out in the medical field. We're going to have way more things to fight it with, right? I really want to find this Mark Twain quote. It just really hit me last night. I'm going to look for it here. I was just like, yeah, that's exactly right. Mark Twain was really smart. Let's see, Mark Twain quotes, fiction, reality is stranger than fiction. I found that's really true. Okay, here it is. So I'll pull it up on the screen. Oh, no, he has a bunch of quotes about that. Oh, here it is. Here's the one that I was looking for. I'll share my screen real quick. Check this out. Okay, so look. Why shouldn't truth be stranger than fiction? Fiction, after all, has to make sense, right? It has to have context, right? And so our reality is definitely stranger than fiction. Let's read some other ones. I'm getting off track. I'll read 2 more. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't, because people don't even think this target. Some people don't even think this targeting is a possibility, right? Reality has no. Yeah, that's really smart. Let's see another one. I'm getting way off track here. Oh man, they're just the same ones. Okay, I wanted to find another one. Mark Twain has some very smart quotes. Lord Byron, 'tis strange but true, for truth is always strange, stranger than fiction. Lord Byron, 1788 to 1824, in his poem Don Juan. I really like that one. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. Truth is stranger than fiction to some people, but I am measurably familiar with it. True. Wait, I didn't understand that one. I'm gonna read it again. Truth is stranger than fiction to some people. I'm not understanding it. Hold on. Truth is stranger than fiction to some people, but I am measurably familiar with it. I don't really get that one. I guess I kind of get it. Okay, let me get back to the questions. Okay, well, let's read this one. I like Mark Twain quotes. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Oh, yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, yeah, we've got to believe, like, not just in this targeting thing, but just as human beings, belief is scientifically. I'm gonna do some videos on that. I'm gonna do a lot of videos on science and faith and how why belief is scientifically so important. And I think a lot of people are like, I don't have to believe, and I don't have to love, and I don't have to have positive vibrations or anything like that. I just need to do, and it's going to work out. But that's not always true. There's a science. There's a science to belief. You know. Yeah, Tanya says, yeah, can't get my head around it. Can't get my head around it, Kyle. I can't believe it. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get used to. You can't ever really get used to any of this. But man, if you guys look up that all time, let me write it. I'll just go. No, I don't want to go. I may do a video where I show some of his, but it's just like all time. I don't know if y'all can see this. All time at the top there. Just go to that YouTube channel and watch his Mandela effect videos. You're gonna freak out. I don't even know if I should have given y'all that channel because it like I'll watch it. I'm like, what's Donner and Blitzen doesn't exist. Those names don't exist. Those are never the reindeer's names. I mean, what? You know? Tanya says I've been going through it for throughout 5 years old. I've been since you're 5 years old. Okay. I'm not sure. I think that I've been going through it since I was 12, but I didn't start to be hurt till I was like in college. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure when my targeting started. Drunken Ninja says, does the sound of Kyle's voice change sometimes on stream, or is it just my end? Could just be, I have these noise canceling hearing aids in, so I may be changing the level of my voice. I don't have an auto tuner or anything like that. Sometimes it like my attackers attack my neck and my jaw, so sometimes my voice will be a little bit more like or and then sometimes I'll feel a little bit more comfortable and my voice will be deeper. So it has to do with my throat constriction. So sometimes my voice just naturally changes. I don't know what to do about that. You know, I think some people are weirded out by it sometimes, or maybe I notice it more than other people. I don't know. It's one of those things, you know, you're subconscious about yourself. One of those little things. Cheryl says, I don't know why you hear it like it just did it. I don't know why do you hear it like it just did it. Okay. Oh, it's different. Is it? It's not the chipmunk thing because I was watching Targeted Citizens. Oh, so my stream's messed up. It's garbled a little bit. Is it fixing? Is it fixing now? You guys let me know when it's normal. It's technical. Drunken Ninja says no, it's technical. Can you? But y'all can still understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I saw him do that. I saw him do that to Targeted Citizens video the other night. Like I wasn't on the stream, but I watched it after. Like I watched it like later that night, and at the end of it, it made him sound like a chipmunk. And I was like, man, I wish my attackers would do that. And maybe they did. Maybe they did. I was like, I wish my attackers would do that to my videos, because they always do stuff like they try and make it look natural. And I was like, man, it just proves he's a targeted individual, so targeted individuals will know. It's like, it's stupid of them to do that kind of stuff. Like, let them do it, because they're just showing that they're messing with us. It's proof. It's good. Drunken Ninja says, are you streaming off Wi-Fi or cable Wi-Fi? Yeah, I don't have a direct line, and so my attackers will make the stream like what's it called? Oh, I can't think of the word. They'll make the stream kind of stop and go and stuff like that. They really mess with my Wi-Fi. Yeah, Future Knowledge says they did the chipmunk voice to Catherine Horton. Okay, so Richard Horvat says something very, very important. He knows a lot about this stuff. Richard Horvat says, study your fascia system. You can release any tension this program causes, by massaging pressure points and things like that, because you've got fascia. It's like, what is it, Richard? It's the stuff between your muscles and your nerves. It's like a whole layer between your muscles and your nerves that they mess with. Okay, let's continue with the questions. I've only got a few more, and you guys try and give me some, or if you can't think of any now, if you can't think of any on the spot, please leave them in the comments. So I'm just thinking of really smart things I could ask him that can help us. And so I want to get us all involved in this. It's that thing I was thinking earlier. I was like, man, I'm talking about how he's helping us. Is it going to hurt him, or is it going to hurt us going to get help from him? But we just got to do it. We've just got to put this information out. We just got to do this stuff. Okay, so my next question would be, are you writing medical papers on TIs and what they go through to spread amongst the medical community? I want to find out if he's doing anything with this information, because he's seeing a lot of targeted individual patients. So I want to know if he's like writing medical papers, letting other doctors know. That's going to be huge for us, because then we're going to have other doctors. We've already got John Hall, Dr. Robert Duncan, but Dr. Robert Duncan's not that kind of a doctor, but we have John Hall, we had Melinda Kidder, we had Dr. Staniger, now we have Dr. Hoffer. I don't know if Dr. Kidder or Dr. Staniger are still seeing targeted individual patients though. Okay, I would read your stuff, Richard, but you guys read it in chat, because Richard knows a lot about like pressure points in the nervous system. But I got to get through these questions. Okay, so the next one, is there a specific noise canceling hearing aid that works best for neuroweapons attacks for the remote neural manipulation? So I want to know if because this one works very well, but I want to know if there's a better one, if there's a specific one. I'm going to ask him if he knows about the levels, like the levels that they're using for remote neural manipulation. This megahertz to this megahertz. I guess it'd be like, I'm so bad with that stuff. So bad with it. I need to get better with it. Then I have a DTI that I got from another neurologist. I'm going to give him that, and I'm going to ask him if he wants to do a DTI MRI. If he does, that's huge evidence. It's huge evidence. I gotta drink some of my energy drink. And this is really bad, guys. I'm drinking a Monster energy drink. This is 666. Like, this is in Arabic. This is 666 in Arabic right here. And I'm like, I have a machine in my condo. So instead of going out, I can just get a Monster energy drink from the machine. And I did, but I think there's something bad. I think, I just don't trust these energy drinks. I don't want to get conspiratorial about energy drinks, but with nanotechnology and nanofibers and stuff like that, I don't know. I just, and I'm very addicted to them now. I get more addicted to Monster energy drinks than other ones, but this is like 666. So this is bad. This will be my last one. It was convenient, and I'm not going to drink anymore. So I don't want to show that anymore, because it's like signaling. I never mean to signal. If I do signal, I never mean to signal any kind of weird satanic symbols or whatever. The Darth Vader shirt, I was thinking, oh, they're gonna think that I'm signaling that like I'm a bad guy or something. Yeah, I'm kind of throwing that out. It doesn't mean that at all. Zap World says, Kyle, green tea is the way to go. Definitely, definitely. I gotta drink more water and I gotta drink more tea. I drink too many cold drinks, and I drink too many energy drinks. It's very, very bad. It kind of helps me get some energy just to do the videos. You know, Drunk Ninja says, if it's ELF, extremely low frequency waves, covering your ears won't do anything. That's how they communicate with submarines deep under ice. Yeah, but Drunken Ninja, there's a bunch of stuff they use. And if you go and look up Dr. James Giordano, they do many, many things that are interacting with the vestibular system, the inner ear and the outer ear. So it's not all ELF. Some of it is electromagnetic pulses that's not necessarily extremely low frequency, right? But they do use extremely low frequency that's probably going straight to the brain. It's probably going past everything and straight to the brain and can make you depressed or anxious. But they're using all these different things, right? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with you that if it's ELF, that it wouldn't interfere with the vestibular system, but I'm not sure about that. I think even extremely low frequency does. I think you can interfere with it with some of these methods, and that it is interacting with the vestibular system. We need to look more into that. Oh, it's Hebrew. Drunkenness says it's 666 in Hebrew, not Aramaic. I think. I thought it was Aramaic. Isn't Aramaic Hebrew? I don't know a lot about that. You could be right, man. I don't know. Tabitha Jennings, and welcome to the chat, Tabitha. Says, I also heard that sugar intensifies the ELF. Okay. Future Knowledge says, you're absolutely right about the submarines, Ninja, and the waves they use to communicate. Yeah, but how do they interact? Do we know for certain that they go straight to the brain, or does it interact with our vestibular system? Are you guys certain that it bypasses our ears and eyes and vestibular system? Because I'm not too sure. I think ELF can interfere. I mean, can interact with the vestibular system. I'm not really sure. Now let me go to the next one, but that's interesting. I'm going to look into it more. I mean, we can research it more. I don't want to show that 666. I shouldn't have even gotten that. It was just convenient. Okay, so governmental agency. Okay, are governmental agencies trying to put an end to these programs? So I'm going to ask him, like, if the state, if he's working with the Department of Justice, are they looking into this to try and stop it? I'm going to see what he thinks. I don't know how many of these questions I'm going to be able to ask him, but I'm just thinking about anything, right? And then I'm going to take all these and put it in a priority. Like, what's the priority here? What's the ones that he would most likely be able to answer that can help us the most medically? And then if I have time, I'll ask some of the other ones. Marika says, my friends told me Monster copied them exactly and created Yachok Yerba Mate. LOL, I love Yerba Mate too. Yeah. I've never heard of Yerba Mate. Okay, Tanya says, ask him if he can come to Australia. Okay, I'll write that down. See if he can come to Australia. Can you come? Or to Australia, or if he has any colleagues or connections, if he knows any other doctors that are doctors in Australia looking into this, I can do that and ask about that. Okay, so let me try and get through these. Is there a specific nerve blocker that could tone down the targeting? So that's going to be a big one. Chemical shielding has helped me a lot. Lorazepam, 0.5 milligrams a day. The kratom, which I'm really toning down on the kratom, because I think my attacker started to kind of use it against me, and it was just bad. I was taking too much. But like, chemical shielding really helps. So I think he might know of something very maintainable, like a nerve blocker that could specifically block some of this remote neural manipulation very well. So I'm going to ask him if he knows about that. Yeah, Tanya says we need doctors that will help us. Yes, I'm gonna ask him if he knows about any other doctors in the States or any other country anywhere that will help targeted individuals. Future Knowledge says they pulse the low frequency waves very fast, so it sets up a resonance. Yeah. The problem is, guys, the problem is in figuring this stuff out is that they do so many different things. They're integrated directed energy weapon systems, so it's like my attackers are doing stuff to my head, right? And I'm fighting back with Dave Case's CD. And hey, Dave, did I say hey to you earlier? I saw you earlier and I read your comment. I just want to make sure I said hey. David says explains the backward pressure during modulated tinnitus. Future explains the backwards pressure during modulated tinnitus. The problem is it's like they're doing stuff to my head, right? But then they're also creating electromagnetic fields around my body, and they're using these different frequencies, right? So that's the problem with figuring this stuff out, is they're not infinite bag of tricks, but integrated directed energy weapon systems. As we saw those patents the other night. They take those apparatuses and they put the apparatuses, they manufacture those and put them into these integrated directed energy weapon systems. So they're not just using extremely low frequency. They're not just using microwave. They're not just using ultrasound. They're not just using infrasound. You know, they're not just using high pitch frequency. They're not just using radio frequency. They can switch. They can go up and down the electromagnetic spectrum, and then they can go to infrasound, ultrasound, extremely low frequency, which I guess infrasound and ultrasound may be extremely low frequency. You know, you got things that are like radio, what is it? Microwaves are radio frequency. I don't know. You know, they just use a bunch of stuff. Tabitha Jennings says, I wonder where the microwave hearing comes from. Microwave hearing is like microwave heats up the brain. As the brain cools, it sends a signal to the inner ear, and that's microwave hearing. So it goes straight to the inner ear, bypasses the outer ear, affects the brain. And I think the thing is the mechanism, I think the mechanism is electromagnetic transcranial stimulation. So it's a microwave, it's affecting the cranial nerves, and then it's heating up the brain, and then the brain sending a signal to the inner ear. It's so complicated, you know. Just like, I mean, I wouldn't even go into that stuff unless we needed to defend from this crap. The bottom line is we're being hit with directed energy weapons all over our body. We're being hit with psychotronic weapons or neuro weapons, whatever you want to call them. They're damaging our body. They're damaging our cells. It can manipulate the brain. It can make us feel things. It can harm our bodies. That's the bottom line. You know, we got to talk about all these details though, because if we can kind of partition out, well, this is one of their tactics. This is one of their tactics. This is one of their tactics. Then we start using these different defenses. And I'm telling you guys, if you use a mixture of defenses, that's the most successful thing that you're going to be able to do, because then they can adapt to stuff. I was looking at one of Future Knowledge's videos the other night. He was like, you know, if you think of a solution to this, the AI is going to automatically know. And I think he was like, and he said something like, I forgot what you said after that, Future Knowledge, but that's true. But if you use a bunch of different solutions and things, the system's going to have a harder time adapting to it, you know. Autumn says, Wayne Morse. Hey, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne says, yes, we need doctors. I'm going to ask him if there's some in Australia. I think both of you guys are in Australia, Wayne and Tanya. Autumn says, let me see. Read some of y'all's comments here. Wayne said, I made my first vid on gang stalking today and they've crippled my internet. An 8-minute vid has taken 6 hours to upload and only 60% so far. Keep pushing through it, Wayne, because like when I first started doing it, they were, yeah. When I would download on the computer to YouTube, it would take like a day. But because I just didn't quit, like I just get around it, they started doing other stuff. You know, they were like, okay, whatever. So they don't, I mean, I guess my attackers do mess with my stuff. What they do now is on my live streams, they try and freeze it up, you know, during certain parts of what I'm saying. And then they'll mess with my computer. like if I'm trying to edit a video or anything like that, which I don't have any editing software right now, they would make it so that I can't even turn it into a file. But I'm not sure. It seems like my targeting is way more automated now, so that it's mostly just like nervous system attacks, brain attacks, and everything like that. And I'm kind of able to make my videos and stuff like that. I'm so tired. Like I'm so tired. Like they kind of focus on making my body and my mind tired, so I can't say as smart of stuff. I can't see smart of stuff. That doesn't even make sense. David says, okay, the Drunken Ninja says, and send sound through TV and radio transmitter stations so you can get sound through any car. David Irwin says, basic tech existed before microwave ovens, just uses bone conductivity instead of transducers. Yeah. Wayne Moore says, I won't stop, got to do my bit to help. That's a great attitude, Wayne. It's a great attitude, man. If we all just do a little bit, if we all make a YouTube channel and just make a couple of videos, it will make a difference. It quickens it. It quickens it. It lets the public know that it might not feel like it's making that big of a difference, but you may be speaking, like you may be making a channel, and say you start out with a smaller YouTube channel and you have like 100 subscribers, and you get like maybe 70 views on a video or whatever. I don't know if that's what would really happen, but you're like, man, 70 views on a video, that's not that great. But out of those 70 targeted individuals, or maybe 60 targeted individuals and 10 non-targeted individuals, you might have 20 targeted individuals who you really inspire to go get individuals. You might have 5 of those or 2 of those that have big YouTube channels that then spread that information. So you just don't know how that information is going to spread. So it's super, super important. Wayne Moore says, gonna spill my guts. The first vid is me waffling on, but it's a start. Yeah, just do your testimony. That's what I did too, Wayne. Like my first videos, if you go back, it's just me just saying, this is what's going on. Like I'm being attacked, and I got it wrong. I thought it was my neighbors doing everything. But you know, you've got to put your testimony out first. Just get it out of you, you know. And I think even people who don't want to do YouTube channels, get it on video. Like do your testimony on video of what's happening to you, because with the remote neural manipulation, you might forget some of it. You know, I actually go back. I didn't tell you all what happened this weekend. This weekend, Stacy told me that she went on her phone and she was like looking at my videos, like my older videos, and it only went down to a year. Like it only went back a year. And she was like, I can't see your videos past like 2018. And I freaked out. Like I freaked out, and I was like looking at my tablet. I got on my tablet and I went down, and my videos only went back for a year. And there's 5 years. I've been doing videos for 5 years. And then I checked on my phone, it only went back for a year. And I didn't check on my computer. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't check on my computer, but I thought that my attackers had erased all of my videos, like 4 years of videos. And it freaked me out. I'm gonna save all those videos because it's helpful, and I hope this program doesn't last a lot longer. But I go back and I get advice from myself, because I've changed a lot. This has changed me, and I've forgotten things because of the microwave torture, the neuro weapons. I'll actually go back and see how my emotions were back then, how I felt and stuff like that. And I'll actually see what was happening back then. It helps me to keep organized in my head. And that guy back there, you know, when it first started, he was a little bit more hopeful. Not really. I mean, I'm still hopeful, but he was different. And it's kind of like this episode of The Flash, season 3. The Flash from the present goes into the future, and he talks to the Flash from like 8 years in the future, who's like had everything destroyed in his life, and he's really depressed, and he's like pulled away from his family and everything. So the Flash from the present goes and talks to the Flash from 8 years in the future, and he actually inspires him to, you know, make the future better and stuff like that. So it's weird. I know that's weird, but it really I sometimes go back and watch my older videos and I'm like, oh, okay, organized in my head, and I like getting advice from that guy. You know, sometimes because like I don't communicate as well. Like I can't organize my thoughts as well. Sometimes that it's really me. So I'm saying other guy or whatever, but it's really me. But I could sit in front of a video and just talk about what was happening, and I could just flow because my brain worked better. Like my brain hadn't been so remote neural manipulated and microwave. And I think it just seems like God was able to get in there a little bit better, and I'd say things that were more inspirational to me and other people. And I'm getting negative, you know. We still inspire each other. We don't lose who we are. Lost Year says they cut off my old videos too. They're somewhere because I got a few recent comments on the old ones, but you can't just pull them up. Yeah, so it's happening to you guys too. And thank you, Tanya. Tanya says, Kyle, you're doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah, all you guys are doing great. I mean, we're surviving, so we're doing great. I just wish this stuff would end soon. So, Autumn, what letter? Autumn saying the letters on Ramola's video. I gotta go watch. She's been putting out a lot of good videos lately. A lot of people have been putting out a lot of good videos. Yeah, Drunken Ninja says, yeah, microwaves are microwaves no matter where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. Future Knowledge says, don't be nervous, Wayne Morris. Making these videos this heroic because you're putting your life on the line. Yeah. And in a way, like this is what's happened to me. I've been punished, right? My targeting, my little defenses, and I was like, I'm not going to really be in the TI community. Things would be a lot easier. I could probably just do the defenses, feel better, and kind of go about my life. I'm not going to do that. So you get targeted harder. Like your attackers try and do some weirder stuff to you, but also in a certain way, you're getting out in front of it and you're telling your own narrative. You're making the true narrative. You're putting out the true narrative so that your gang stalkers can't do that. Your microwave attackers can't do that. And I think it does make it harder for them to get clearance if I guess they can get clearance to kill you, you know, because there have been a lot of targeted individuals who have died. So I think it makes it a little bit harder for them. Why did you retract that message, Future Knowledge? That was a great comment. That was a great comment. You shouldn't have retracted that. But okay, so let me go on. So DTI, MRI, evidence as proof in court. So I'm going to ask him, and I don't know if he'll know about that, but I'm going to ask him if the DTI or MRI, the MRI DTI, because it's an MRI DTI, if it can be used as evidence in court. I'm going to try and get as much evidence for court as I can. Okay, you're correcting it, Future Knowledge. I was like, why'd you erase that, man? It's a great comment. So I don't know if he'll know about this, but I'm going to ask him like what can be used as evidence in court. I'm going to ask him some questions which are probably going to be out of his knowledge, but I'm just writing them down just in case, you know, we can talk for a long time. So then I'm going to ask him any other specific shielding that can hinder the targeting. So I'm going to ask him if he knows about any kind of passive shielding or anything else, just any kind of, you know, I guess I'm going to ask him about the chemical shielding, the passive shielding, and then I'm going to maybe ask him like kind of about frequency shielding, kind of like Dave Case's CD, just anything that he knows about that would just be really, really good for this, beyond the noise canceling hearing aids. Excuse me. I don't want to show this 666 thing. Okay. So so then I'm going to ask him, are there any supplements and medicines that can help TIs heal? So not only just things that can block the attacks, but are there any specific supplements or medicines that can help our cells heal, our brains heal, and things like that? Because he is a neurologist, so he might have knowledge on that. Is that a letter? Oh, it's written for somebody specific. And hey, Claire, welcome to the chat. Oh yeah, that's good advice, Drunken Ninja. That's really good advice for anybody making videos. Very good advice for anybody making videos. So Drunken Ninja says, Wayne, just don't say something that the police or agencies might use against you, because Australia is becoming a police state. Yeah, well, America is becoming a police state too. But America is a police state. America is a murderous in our home state. Yeah, the Drunk Ninja says 666 is just a number. Is just a number. It's the name that 66 equals is evil. Yeah, yeah. Like in Indians, that the Christian community, because I'm a Christian, Ti, anything that makes them, think of evil, or they've kind of connotated evil on it, I just don't want to use. So, but yeah, symbols don't really mean much to me. It's like they're just symbols. It's what you put on them. We've got a very, very powerful God, and I don't think a little written symbol or a hand sign is gonna stop God from protecting us from any kind of demonic forces or any kind of forces that we don't understand. Yeah, yeah, Wayne, if you want to put your channel in the chat. If you want to put your channel in the chat, definitely do. It's just I think it's just his name. Just Wayne Morris. Yeah. Yeah. And everybody go check it out. Everybody go check out Wayne's channel and subscribe. I'm gonna go to it after this and subscribe, man. Okay, so this I'm gonna ask him. I don't know if he'll tell me, but I'm gonna ask him, are you going to be testifying for TIs in court cases? I'm gonna ask him, like, I really, I think my mom's coming with me, and once she talks to him, and this is solidified because she knows that it's happening, but she might be able to help me to get a lawyer, and we might push forward with that. I'm still working on. I'm just not getting things done. I'll just admit it. I'm just not getting things done, and I should have already finished my affidavit and gotten it into targeted justice by now, but I just don't get things done. So I'm gonna really work on that after the doctor appointment, like getting ready for a court case, either an individual court case or my attackers are blanking me out, or the class action suit. When I do that, it kind of helps. When I just when I blink my eyes, it helps. Okay, so I'm gonna ask him this. I don't think he'll know, but I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him, what are all the methods for directed energy delivery to our bodies? Like, what are all the things that they can do, like electromagnetic fields? What do they do to the head to get remote neural manipulation in? Because he's talked to Dr. James Giordano, so maybe he can give me more specifics than he'd be able to in some of their presentations. So I'm gonna definitely ask him about that. And then obviously, foregoing the non-consensual implants in the body, I'm going to ask him, what are all the catalysts that he knows of that make our bodies better transceivers for directed energy, for microwaves and things like that. So, and that's all I've got for now, guys. That's it. Zapworld says, to be honest, Kyle, I'm going to remain skeptical of Dr. Hoffer until I see the results and live saved. Yeah, that's a good way to be. We got to try, man. We have to try. Like I guess I'm like, I'm getting skeptical. Like my conditioning is skeptical, but I'm trying to consciously remain naive, not naive, hopeful, like overly hopeful, overly positive. Like I'm trying to do that, but like conditioning wise, I'm getting less and less hopeful and skeptical of people. So I'm trying to really consciously be like, man, something great's gonna happen. This doctor, he's like working for us. He's gonna help us to bring this program down. So if we can put all of our positive feelings into something, it can. Sometimes reality can almost change. It's very weird. Like your life can change and the way things go for you if you have a positive attitude. And I think we've seen it as we're targeted and we're made to feel more negative and our bodies are shredded. Things just go back. I mean, also because of the gang stalking, but then you've got things just kind of going bad for you, So I think we should all consciously try and be like, everything's going to work out really good. There's going to be miracles, even though we're being conditioned to see how crappy the world is. And we're also, our spines and our bodies are just messed up. Future Knowledge says the name of his channel is Wayne Morris. That's what it says on the chat. I feel dumb for asking the question now. I think we all do that because we're just not thinking, and we're just going through information. It's like, what's your channel name? Because that's just your name, you know. Mariko Phillips says there's a lot of controversy about targeted justice, targeted evidence. You targeted America, Mariko. You said targeted America may be more trustworthy via Romola D, but I know Midge, and I know Richard Lighthouse. I heard Romola, but I still like Romola. I think she's putting out great information, but I just don't agree with her about everything. And I definitely don't agree with Barbara Hartwell. Actually, let me just say that. I really don't agree with Barbara Hartwell. I really don't agree with her. I don't know what, I mean, I know she's sick. Is she targeted? I mean, she says she's politically targeted. I'm not going to go into all that. I don't know. The people that Barbara Hartwell talks about are people that I've like worked with. I've worked with Ella. Like I've actually moderated calls after her. She just randomly said, "Hey, you want to do this call?" And I don't want to get into that. Yeah, Marika. Yeah. Lost Year says, can you imagine what it will be like if one day this is just lifted and gone? To be at peace, to sleep in peace. I think we've all thought of that. There would be no challenges in life. Like it would just be like this, because you know it's like we have this pressure on us. If that was released, it would just be like, oh, I didn't get that job. Who gives a F? Oh, I don't have a lot of money. Oh, I'm gonna go walk out and be free. It'd just be a completely different perspective. Like it'd be like I almost don't want to even think about it. I know it's good to think about it. It's really that's a positive exercise to think about that, because maybe one day it'll happen. I have hope that it'll happen. I talk to a lot of people, and I still have a part of myself, and they're like, I don't think this is going to end. I think this is going to go till the end of our lives. And there's a part of me that's like, I've been saying, oh, this is going to end soon for 6 years. And there's a part of me that's saying, no, maybe it will go on. But I know I can guarantee this. And I want to believe that this program will end. And I do believe it. I have faith. I have faith in miracles. But this is a concrete guarantee that things will get better for us, that more people will know, that the defenses will be better, that the technology to help us will be better. I can guarantee that within the next couple of years, we'll have things that can just, I even found them now, like Dave Case's CD, this kind of stuff, it can really, really tone down the stuff. But in the next coming years, we're going to find things that are just like, oh, wow, we can barely even hear the V2K. We can barely even feel it. And that's a guarantee that we're going to find methods like that. So even if it's like, okay, maybe they're going to do the program forever, which I don't believe, but even so, there's a guarantee that things will get better for us if we hang in there. Yeah, David Irwin says, Ella's cool. Portland mindset, though. We are not a victim class. Cancel culture is the enemy. And well, Ella doesn't act like a victim. Ella doesn't act like a victim. The billboard's just too, you guys got to understand. I think a lot of people kind of give her crap about the billboard. The billboard's supposed to get people's attention. So it's a woman crying. It gets people's attention. So you just got to think that way. She's not saying, oh, we're all victims and everything. Ella's not a victim. Dude, I don't want to, she nuts up. Is that the right way to say it? That's a really bad way to say it. She steps up. I should have just said she steps up. She's not a victim, but that's a very important thing that you said, Dave. None of us should ever see ourselves as victims. If we do, if you see yourself as a victim in this, I know that we're getting tortured and stuff, but if you start seeing yourself as a victim, you're going to be weaker. You're gonna be subconsciously weaker. You're gonna be in a weaker cycle. See yourself as a survivor and a fighter. and a solution finder, you know, and a helper to other people. You know, for God's sake, don't see yourself as a victim. Because if you see yourself as a victim and you're waiting for somebody to save you, don't do that. Don't wait for somebody to save you. You do everything in your power to help yourself. There are people like me and, you know, Ella and Romola and Targeted Citizen and Michael Barden and just a bunch of people trying to get the word out, you know, but, you know, we can't save you. We can give you, you know, I can put out defensive stuff, but there's so many people hurting. You've got to take charge of what you can take charge of. So that's very important, David. She did? David Irwin says, compared us to the Me Too movement? Are you sure, man? Ella wouldn't do that. I'd have to see proof of that. Dude, we don't. Dude, I got gang stalk. I'll end it on this, guys, because I've been going for a long time. Let's see. Let me read this. The Drunken Ninja says, I try to treat it as it will never end, so I'm going to still try to live the best life I can. Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to think. And you got to do what's best for you to move along. And I know some people who do that too. They treat it as if it's not going to end, and then. But I want to believing that something can happen is the way to make it happen. You know, if we all believe that it's going to end, and then people who are helping us believe that it's going to end, there's a lot more probability, Drunken Ninja, that it will end. Belief adds probability. I'm going to do some videos on that, but I understand that mindset, man. You know, you got to do what makes you more comfortable and more strong in your life to do good things in your life. And we all just think differently. You know, human beings think differently. We find different ways to survive things, you know. Future Knowledge says, Ella Free is a real hero to me. And she's a hero to me too. I wanted to tell y'all though, because somebody mentioned the Me Too movement. I'm getting gang stalked. I don't know how to say that. I don't want to be I don't want to be stereotypical. Like I go walk Pepper, and every time now that I'm going to walk Pepper, it's like 1 o'clock this morning that I went to walk Pepper, and this is this the right way to say it? It's a lesbian couple lives down the way in the corner, and is that the right way to say it, or do you say, is there some other way to say that? Lesbian couple lives on the corner, and one of them comes with her big Doberman Pinscher or German Shepherd, big German Shepherd. It's either a Doberman, no, German Shepherd. It's a German Shepherd. I'm sorry. She comes out with her big German Shepherd right when I'm coming in. And she does it every time, and it's like she's waiting for my dog Pepper to freak out. But Pepper doesn't care. Pepper just walks up to her German Shepherd and you know, and just sniffs at it. And so tonight she was coming through with this huge, I mean, it's this huge German Shepherd. It's like up to here. And Pepper just kind of like goes up and sniffs at it. And she just stands in the door. And I go, I'm going through that door. I'm going to go through that door. I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. She like looked at me, and I was like, well, okay, so I'm just going to walk through. And I wasn't mean or anything, but it was super weird. It's super weird that a lesbian couple that lives in my condo would be gang stalking me while I'm being microwaved. So people who are like complaining about how bad America is and how intolerant America is, they join Citizens Corps and they harass and stalk Americans who are being hit with directed energy weapons. I mean, that's some insanity. And like, this isn't just like, oh, it was just, she's definitely timing it to walk out when I'm walking in, because they want to make trouble with my dog, so then they can say, oh, we need to get him out of here or something like that. I mean, I'm not sure if that's exactly what they want, but she's definitely gang stalking me. Marika says, I do what Pepper does when the gang stalkers come around, just ignore the zombie bots. Yeah, I ain't scared of no gang stalkers. Drunken Ninja says, check out Pimp Slaps a Hero on YouTube. It's going to be Wayne and his perps. LOL. Yeah. Okay, Pimp Slaps a Hero. So we got to get Pimp Slaps a Hero. So everybody go check it out on YouTube, guys. So New Type says, they can interact with our brains using interference of 2 or more EMF signals with nearly any frequencies as long as certain beats are created. The beats vibrate and stimulate our nervous system. Yeah, kind of like binaural beats. But I don't think the binaural beats that you get on YouTube are like negative ones. I think they use negative binaural beats, you know, two or more EMF signals with nearly any frequencies as long as certain beats are created. Yeah. And I think they have other tricks too. You know, I think there's more things that interact with the vestibular system too. Then there's a bidirectional stream of basically photonic energy that does deep brain stimulation, but it's interacting with an electromagnetic field around the head. But then that's not even every angle, you know. Yeah, Tanya says, Kyle, they don't care. They will hurt anyone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zapworld says that is fairly ironic. It's very ironic. You know, if these people like in Antifa, and you know, they're not in Antifa, so I'm not trying to equate the gang stalkers who live here with Antifa, but they're so. You go watch that Vice video about the black bloc. Go watch that Vice video about the left, the black bloc, and there are these leftists who they're basically Antifa, and they're gonna punch some Nazis or some crap. They're so intolerant. They're intolerant, and people on the right are just talking about their ideas, and these people already want to use violence, and they want communism. Like the people on the left, they're like, yeah, we need communism. Communism kills millions of people. Always, always. Never has communism been this peaceful sanctuary thing. Communism means you've got an elite up at the top, and then you've got the rabble down at the bottom, and none of them can make enough money to have a good life. These idiots, not all people on the left, but these idiots on the left are stupid. Like and that's just I just repeated what I said, but that's crazy. It's crazy to stalk people and to complain that you're in a tyrannical America because people don't call you the right name or whatever, or they're treating you bad because you're a lesbian or something like that. And then you go out and stalk people who are being murdered. I mean, that are being tortured and murdered with directed energy weapons. Like, find out about your world. You know, get your thinking right. This isn't a positive way to end this video. Yeah, Wayne Moore says they are addicted to being cruel. And we're talking about gang stalkers, I think, now. Zapworld says communism is a hell of a drug. That's true. Communism. Some of these younger, like Antifa people, they're like, yeah, we need communism. And it's like, communism has always killed millions of people. Whenever communism comes into a country, millions of people are slaughtered and put into camps. Drunk Ninja says, our head should produce a small electromagnetic field from the electric activity in our brains with the iron in our blood. Hashtag electromagnetism. Yeah, and I think they read that, Drunken Ninja, and they don't even need a transceiver to read that. They read that unique brainwave signature. But just all the stuff they use is pretty complicated to me. I'd actually have to read it. I can't just like talk about it. And Brian too just kind of says, you know, bidirectional stream of electromagnetic energy, and that kind of sums it up for him. But I think it's way more complicated. There's different layers and different strategies that they use. Like when I put this noise canceling hearing aid in, it somehow stopped the pain of the vagus nerve stimulation that my attacks were doing somehow, either through a non-consensual implant in my ear or interaction with my vestibular system. But then they moved to something else, like an electromagnetic field affecting my spine and sending signals to the brain, like through the skin almost. And so they have all these different ways. And then there's stuff they do directly to the head. So it's a little bit more complicated than just like, oh, they're doing this one thing to the brain, you know? So that's kind of just my bottom line on that. But I know that we want to package it down into an easy to understand thing, right? And we can still do that. Even with all the methods they have, we can still do that. I'm more concerned about like, okay, they're doing this, this, and this, so we need to use this, this, and this defense and put these things together, right? So we can really reduce our suffering, you know? Yeah, Future Knowledge says Antifa should go live in North Korea. Very wise comment. And then they could see how that goes. Those people are robots there, and they have to basically worship their leader, and they get nothing. They get nothing. I think these young kids think that things are just going to be the same. Like if we have communism, that they're still going to be able to like go to a job and make all the money they want and everything like that. Now there will be people being slaughtered, just like us. I mean, we're halfway there, right? Hey, Miss Kitten, did I say hey to you? I'm sorry if I don't say hey to you in the chat. I'm not trying to be mean. There's just a lot of you guys. Cheryl says, OMF, loose to be left. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, and I have friends that are on the left and they're smart and they're very smart and they don't want communism, but some of these younger people on the left, they just don't get life. They don't understand how life works, you know. Miss Kitten says, one time they played my thoughts where I could verbally hear it. Yeah. Yeah, my attackers do that too. Well, they'll repeat, they'll put on like they'll either through V2K that's not automated, they'll repeat what I'm thinking, or they'll have Chatterbox that will repeat everything that I'm thinking as I think it. Or sometimes they'll have my inner voice echo. They'll do like the synthetic telepathy where it's like I'll think something and it'll echo, 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 echo. So I can't like have a train of thought. I get stuck because they'll have a repeat, like a cycle of my inner thought. It's really, really weird stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap it up. God bless all you guys. Let me say a prayer to end it, and thanks all you guys for coming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe this video because I need some suggestions. I know you guys, we were talking about other stuff in chat. Thank you, Tanya, for your suggestions. And anybody else, if I missed them, if I missed a suggestion, I'm sorry. But if somebody can maybe just think about it, what questions you would want to ask Dr. Hoffer that could help us, and then put it in comments, guys. And I'm going to really, like, I struggle to look at all the comments, but I'll definitely read these. So please like, share, and subscribe, guys. I'm going to end it with a prayer in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for all these awesome, beautiful targeted individuals in chat. Please help them. Please give them strength. Any targeted individual out there in the world, just give them strength, give them solutions. Please give us miracles. Please let this this visit with Dr. Hoffer, please let it be so positive. Please let it give us a foot up, a leg up to defeating this. And please just let there be a critical mass on the subject. Just a critical mass where it spreads and the people who are doing it see that they can't continue this program. Please just any way, whichever way that you need to end this, God, please do that. Please do so. And if it's not in your will to end this program, please let it be in your will to end this program. But if it's not, please give us solutions to relieve our suffering, and to make things better for us and make our families understand. And so we can be vindicated through this. All right, guys, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it out. I love all you guys, and just stay as strong as possible. And I'll be doing some other videos, trying to just put out some more solutions. I think the TENS unit, transcranial stimulation, or even not a vibrator, but a massager that you can put like on your back or something. Y'all might want to try that. Try that and see that if it reduces some of the anxiety and depression, you know. Drunken Ninja says, buy any single ladies in chat. I can't, hey, that's you, Drunken Ninja. That's you, man. Drunken Ninja's a smart guy, too. I can't do that. I got a girlfriend. I got Stacy. She's awesome. She's probably sleeping right now. No, I mean, I know she's sleeping, but yeah. Okay, well, all right, guys. I love y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks for coming. Probably do, I don't know. I'll probably do another live stream soon, but I love all you guys. Just stay strong. And good on you, Wayne. Good on you for putting your story out, bro. That's the way we're going to get